Welcome to DasGeek. It is the holidays. Are you excited? You should be really, really excited because the holiday gift guide is here. I did this last year. It was pretty popular. I got people to, thank me for helping them get the geek in their life, the perfect present. And if there's anybody in your life you want to get the perfect present for, it's the geek in your life. This is not only to help make sure that, my wife and friends get me good gifts, but to make sure your wife and friends or husband gets you a good gift as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to quickly go through this list, and then I'm going to go through each product. I have like 20 something tabs open here so that we can go through each product. We've got 5 on each row, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 products. Look at that math skill. It's off the charts that we're going to go through here. Some of these made a return from last year. Now, I actually spend a lot of time coming up with this list, and I work on it during the day, at night, in the mornings, because there are a couple of things that I look for. Number one is I want gifts in a price range. I want to start from free because maybe some of you had a bad year or you don't have money to spend on this stuff, or maybe you don't spend money during the holidays, but it's a nice free thing out there you can get, all the way up to very expensive. You've got had a really good year, have some extra cash, and want to, show the person how much. It's not about gifts. It kind of can be sometimes. You want to show them how much you love them. So we've got, 5 sections here: audio, hardware, subscriptions, accessories, and other. This list, again, is some of my favorite things. 95% or more of this list are things that I actually owned, or played with and had direct access to, and or in a few cases, these are ones that are reviewed so highly from so many different places that I still felt I could recommend them. They're things that I want, but they may not yet own. But for the most part, most of this stuff are things that I've put my hands on and done reviews with on my channel. So you can go check them out if there's something that piques your interest specifically on my channel or other channels to get some more information to make sure it fits the needs of your geek. So let's get into the list. And I apologize ahead of time. I'm getting over a cold, but this was very important to get out because it's at the point now where we're buying stuff for people. So the FIO E10 USB DAC. What is this? It's a little device that sits on your computer. It makes headphones like this sing. Speaking of headphones like this, they are on this list. The Audio-Technica ATH 8900X is incredible, but we're back at the DAC. The DAC allows you to get a lot more power to push those headphones. So if you have an audiophile in your life, this is a great DAC to put, next to a laptop, or I've even used it as a desktop amplifier for headphones. It is just a fantastic universal device. Even the folks who are heavy audiophiles will recommend this as not a universal, every solution it works for, but as a more balanced approach that everybody can easily operate and access, and will give you that extra power that you need. So FIO E10K, we'll take a look at that in a second. The Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, if you have somebody in your life that does podcasting, YouTube videos, anything like that, the Focus Scarlett is an interface we'll take a look at that I absolutely love. The DBX 286S is a professional, mix preamp processor. I had to go read it on the side there. It's like, what is this thing officially again? In any case, it allows you to set up compression, de-essing, gates, again, audio equipment there for you to check out. Focal Sphere, another amazing headphone. Hardware-wise, we have the AMD Ryzen 3, 5, or 7. You guys know I've gone with the 3, which is on the lower end, but listen to me. The geek in your life will absolutely love you if you get them one of the new Ryzen CPUs, even if they have nothing to put it in yet, because they'll build something around it. So we'll take a look at that. Raspberry Pi is a fantastic device that is so unique. You can do so many things with it, from game emulation to running, a server off of this thing. It's a low-powered board. It's basically a tiny computer that you can get for $30 that you can hack and do all kinds of cool stuff with. Well, I mean, what's the best way to explain it other than that? NVIDIA 1070 or 1080, Blackmagic Intensity Pro 4K capture card. And yes, all of this stuff I've mentioned works with Linux. Everything in the audio side works with Linux and Windows. Everything in the hardware side, especially Raspberry Pi, because you can run Linux straight on, it works with Linux or Windows. PS4 Pro, I mean, Sony does use Linux in its base operating system, so there's that, but that's a gaming console. Why do I put that on there? I think Sony has some really cool exclusives you can't get for PC, and especially if you're a Linux gamer, there may be some of those AAA games that you're tempted to boot into Windows for. You'd be better to boot your Sony PlayStation up, and you can capture all your gaming if you still want to stream it or anything using the Blackmagic Intensity Pro card right up above, which works beautifully in Linux. Destination Linux podcast patron, we'll get in there. Don't judge me. Linux Fest tickets, which I think would be really cool if you check out on the Destination Linux podcast. We had an interview with Noah, and it was really cool him talking about the Linux Fest. It's one of the things I haven't done but really want to. Loot Crate subscription. We'll talk about Pia VPN, Humble Bundle Monthly, Zowie FK2 mouse, my favorite mouse in the world, the Huon H610 Pro drawing tablet. I have no idea, Huion, how you pronounce that. This is something I don't own but comes highly recommended. Steam controller, Synology NAS, Steam Link, which I use the heck out of, especially for playing Borderlands. And then we've got some knowledge here that you could give as a gift, which I would love, but you got to know your geek. HTML and CSS design and build websites book that I use to build DasGeek communities. I'm not a fantastic coder, but it was such a good book. It was so easy to get into. Rick and Morty seasons 1 and 2. You got to be a Rick and Morty fan. If you're not, you go check it out. It is an amazing, really funny show. I will tell you, it is not meant for kids or people who are easily offended. So if that's you, cross that one off the list. If that you're not easily offended by, off-color jokes and comments and crazy things, then Rick and Morty is awesomeness, all wrapped up into a cartoon platform. So they can get away with a lot more doing that. Skillwise Courses, which I use quite often. Sean Patrick Art, which behind me, I get comments all the time on YouTube channel. Where did you get that art? I get all kinds of people saying it looks Pink Floyd-ish and all these different things. They absolutely love it. So I decided to put it on the list. Sean Patrick, you can get some custom art we'll take a look at in Ancestry DNA, which is a video I keep telling people I'm going to do and don't, but I've actually done the Ancestry DNA. The results are pretty awesome, and eventually I'll get around to that. Okay, so that's my holiday gift guide. Look at this Santa hat. My artistic capabilities are incredible. They'd only be improved by the Huon H610 Pro. So this gives you a huge list of items. We've got everything from $0 on up to $1 to, $400 on up. So every geek here can have a good holiday season, no matter what you're celebrating. So now we're going to switch over into the web browser view. You can see my 25 tabs over. We're going to go over each item just a little bit. I can't spend too much time, otherwise the video will be 3 hours long, and we'll take a look at this. So this is the E10 Olympus 2 by FIO. Again, this is just a fantastic USB DAC headphone amp that just allows you to really get the best performance you can out of a high quality pair of headphones. So it's very portable. It's not something you'd want to put in your pocket and its USB interface, but it's portable from the fact that if you have a laptop or anything else, you can just plug that USB in there, put your headphones into it, and it works. It works beautifully with Linux. It comes up as a selection option in many, many distributions. I've never had an issue with it. Absolutely fantastic if you get into music. If you have a music lover in your life, they will like this DAC. So definitely go check that out. This is the Scarlett 2i2 I was telling you about. This is the first interface I ever got. Well, maybe not the first one. I think I had the Yamaha first, but it's the interface one of the first interfaces that I got to start doing YouTube videos and things with. And I love the Focusrite for this simple reason. It works across any operating system. Whether it's Windows, Linux, Mac, it doesn't matter. It's compatible because it's driverless. You don't have to worry about drivers and messing with that. It's also extraordinarily reliable. I've had this thing for a very long time at this point. I don't know, definitely over a year. It's had no issues. I've never had to reboot it, reset it, not get signal. It just works. And it does a very good job as an interface. So, it's got the XLR inputs as well as the 4th-inch inputs here. You can monitor directly. It interfaces with my DBX286S, which allows me some compression and de-esser options and things like that. but it's just a really solid tool. There are other alternatives out there. I think this is the best one. I have like the Yamaha and others. I've had issues with their compatibility. They are more driver reliant than the Focusrite, and that's why this one to me gets a little bit of a win over those other options. So if you have, someone in your life who's wanting to make YouTube content, who's wanting to, do music or instruments, you can obviously plug in instruments and things into this device. This is a really cool tool that they will absolutely love. This is the 286S that it interfaces with, and you can see the preamp, the compressor, de-esser, enhancer, expander gate, and the output here. A little more expensive, but the two could work together. So if you're looking for a really awesome gift, you could give them a package and give them both of these items. But it's just again, this thing stays on 24/7. Never had an issue with it. I've tried recently a Behringer X1204 that I was going to replace this with, and I thought that may make it on my list and this may come off. But I could tell you, after using the Behringer, I really, really like the DBX. That it is just this is really meant for people who know how to work on these type of preamp processors better than I do. With that said, even as a novice, I am able to get this thing to work quite well. There are things that I want to do better, and I need to replace my mic for that. But overall, it's given me a lot of fantastic, consistent support and works beautifully with the Focusrite. So these are the headphones you see me wear in every video, the ATH AD900X. There's nothing more I could say about them. I have tons of reviews out there. They are the greatest pair of headphones for the price that I've ever used. They just have the best lows, mids, and highs. You can use them for music listening, monitoring movies. They are so comfortable. The name Air in them is perfect. You can wear them for hours and not need to take them off. You sometimes forget they're there and will try to walk out the room and yank the cord, which is probably the only issue I could come up with them. My favorite in-ear headphones ever are the Focal Spheres. Again, these have made it on the list multiple times. I talk about them in nearly every video I do about earbuds, especially the most recent ones with Bluetooth. Nothing beats them. They have the best sound out there. You could pick them up for a fantastic price right now. Definitely go check out those if you're wanting your, special someone, or maybe it's yourself. I can get myself a gift. Get the Focal Spheres out there. The Ryzen, there's not a lot to say here. Again, this is the big thing right now. AMD has come back with a vengeance. They're making beautiful CPUs. I have their lower end Ryzen 3. I'm just showing you here the Ryzen 5 and 7. Newegg is a great place to go because they'll recommend motherboards and other things, or you can go to pcpartpicker.com if you're wanting to do a whole build for somebody. But even just getting them the CPU, if I unwrapped a package and had a Ryzen 5 1500X sitting in the box, even if I didn't have a computer to stick it in, I'd be like, well, guess what I'm going to spend the rest of the year saving up and building parts around. Ryzen's where it's at. Everybody wants to play with a Ryzen build, or should want to at this point. They're hot. They're on fire. It's very exciting. Think about getting the geek in your life, a Ryzen. The Raspberry Pi, again, this is just such a universally cool thing to have. You can do so much with these little Raspberry Pis. You could turn them into, they're basically a little mini computer that you could get for $39, and you could get all kinds of kits to really pimp them out with cases and everything else. But you could do game emulation. You can run servers off of this thing. It's just such a cool thing that you can constantly repurpose for whatever you're interested in at that moment. And it costs so little, and you can have so much fun with it. Highly recommend a Raspberry Pi. I put this on here because it's still my favorite video card. Nothing in my mind has come close to competing with it. Now they have the 1080 Ti's. To me, they're a little overpriced, the $700 range right now, making, in my opinion, the 1080 or the 1070 still the best buy. It's the hottest looking. Of course, they got the DasGeek green in there. It runs everything you throw at it. It is every gamer's dream to own one of 2 or 3 or 4 of these cards. They just kill anything that is put in front of it at amazing frames. It works incredibly well in Linux and Windows. So if you have one of these in a Christmas gift for somebody, call me because I want to marry you too. Next, we have the Intensity Pro 4K. This is a fantastic capture card. I have a review of it on my channel. Go check it out. This would be great if somebody's wanting to do Twitch streaming or something along those lines. This is a capture card they could use, specifically if they use Linux. This is a really good capture card for them. Or somebody who's wanting to do reviews on devices, like you can even hook your iPhone or anything HDMI up to this device and be able to capture its content. So it's just a really universally cool card out there that I don't think got nearly as much love as it deserves, and definitely has a place on my list. So go check it out. The PS4 Pro, we kind of talked about a little bit. I think they have some of the best exclusives out there. I think there are going to be a ton of great deals on the regular PS4, Slims or whatever they are, and probably Xbox. Probably not the Xbox One X or the Pro will have very many sales before the holidays. But if I was to get one, and I've had both multiple times, I would go with PS4, just because the Xbox does better as a media center. So if you're big into all of that, great. But PS4 just has, in my opinion, better exclusives, more unique games you're not going to already find on your PC. I'm guessing if you're geek, you already got a PC anyways. So, I mean, that's kind of why I put PS4 on there, and it pairs perfectly with that capture card. Destination Linux patron, become a patron. Listen, yes, I'm a part of this podcast, but we've done some really cool things here, so I'm going to sell one of my own things, all right? Give me a break. We've done some really cool things. First of all, go subscribe to Destination Linux Podcast if you're not already. Second of all, if you become a patron, you get some really cool perks. Like you get the episode early, but something new we've been trying the last couple episodes is you get to actually join during the live recording of the show and kind of get a behind the scenes view into it. It's a lot of fun. The host that I work with, Rocco, is incredibly funny, and we have just a great time geeking out about Linux. So consider being a patron. It only costs $1 or gifting it to somebody who listens to it. And that would be awesome. The Linux Fest, again, there's an episode on Destination Linux where Noah's on there. He talks about Linux Fest, pizza, computers, fixing things, games, LAN parties, geeking out about Linux, what's not to love. There are multiple Linux Fests throughout the United States. Go check out which one is closest to you. Some of them are free to get into. Some of them have like different packages that allow you to do different things at different price levels. Obviously, getting there, if it's not in your area, may cost money, but what a cool gift to be like, hey, we're going to Linux Fest. I got you tickets. You're hooked up. That's your gift. I'd be pretty darn happy with that one. Loot Crate made a return. I almost didn't put this back on here, but I really enjoyed getting Loot Crate for the time that I had it. I stopped it because I was moving at the time. I'll probably bring it back at some point. I didn't get a lot of interest from the videos that I was doing because everybody was doing Loot Crate videos, but it's just a really cool gift option. I think that you can give somebody the gift of Loot Crate, where every month they get these boxes full of geeky toys, shirts, memorabilia and things from geek culture. And it's just a really fun gift that I know I would enjoy if somebody gave to me, that you could check out. Private internet access. You can see I'm running it right here. So you could give someone the gift of privacy through a VPN, which works beautifully within Linux, and allow them to, stay private on the internet, to keep their information private. So PIA VPN is one of my favorites. It's not very expensive to give somebody PIA VPN for a year, but I think any geek worth their weight in geekiness would love a VPN service. Humble Monthly. This is new to the list. I have not tried this yet, but the amount of games you get is so impressive. So basically, every month, for a small price, for $12 a month, you get a whole bunch of games. And you can see that their MSRP listing for these games is anywhere from $100 to $200 worth of games. So if you want somebody to fill up their game portfolio really fast, this would be the gift to give there. So Humble Bundle, I've bought games from them. I love Humble Bundle. A lot of it goes to charity, which is cool. 5% of each month's proceeds still go to charity. So check that out as an option as well. Oops, I just clicked my dock on accident. The Zowie FK2 mouse is my favorite gaming mouse. It is used by a lot of esport pros. It is, great for left and right-handed users alike. It's plug and play. You don't have to mess with software. It's fast, it's efficient, and you've seen how good I am at Rocket League, so that alone should sell it, right? The Huon H610 Pro is something I don't own but want to, even though I have no drawing tablet. I want one to play with. But this is a highly recommended entry to mid-level tablet that I want to get and hope to have at some point to do a review on. It's supposed to be extremely user-friendly, works fantastic with Linux, Windows, or whatever OS that you're on, and you can get it for a fantastic price, so great entry level there. The Steam controller I have videos on. It's one of the best controllers out there. It's just a fantastic PC accessory, so go check it out. My Synology NAS, which was about $149, one of my favorite purchases this year, period. Not only does it have so many options you can do with it, turn it into all kinds of different servers and everything else, it's an incredible backup solution. Anybody who's a distro hopper or needs good backups, you've got tons of pictures, family stuff, whatever. Synology NAS makes it seamless, easy to back up everything on multiple computers throughout your house with just a few clicks of the button. The Steam Link, I use the crap out of. I mean, I put this thing down by my TV. I hook up a controller to it. I play games like Borderlands and everything else downstairs. It streams from my PC to the Steam Link. Works beautifully in Linux, Windows, whatever operating system you're running. And it's just an absolute joy. I don't know why this thing isn't more popular. I mean, I think it's pretty popular. I don't know why it's not more popular than it is, because it works fantastic. You do have to have a good, Wi-Fi connection. But outside of that, it's just a very, very awesome thing to play with. The book we talked about, HTML and CSS, DasGeek community, my first attempt to play with, HTML and CSS. I think the site's pretty good. I absolutely love this book. You can give the gift of knowledge. Rick and Morty season 1 and 2 would be an awesome gift to give somebody if they're a big Rick and Morty fan, or you think they would be. It's sciencey, it's geeky, it's edgy, and it's just a lot of fun. Skillwise Courses, again, giving the gift of knowledge. I use a lot of these. Never pay full price for a Skillwise course, by the way. They always on sale or will be at some point. But you can get lots of awesome courses here for $15, sometimes a little more. Everything from Linux through programming languages, designing, IT, security, business. They're not a whole lot different than maybe if you sat there and scoured YouTube for a bunch of different video series. But number one, they're complete. So you don't have a situation where a YouTube person creates one really great video but never finishes the series. And number two, it's distraction free. I just find if I'm trying to learn something on YouTube or whatever, I always end up getting distracted at some point by other recommended videos. Whereas this is kind of like logging into an online college course. The courses are all that I've played with, well designed. The teachers are easy to understand, and they attack things in many cases from an entry level forward and get very advanced. And it is overall great value, I think, out there. Sean Patrick art. This one I think is going to be very popular this year. Everybody loves the pictures I have behind. I actually was in Charleston when I got those pictures and brought them home. So I figured I'd link to his Instagram here. He has an insanely awesome art style that is just speaks to me. It's very dark and just beautiful all at the same time. And he's such a cool guy to meet. So if you're in Charleston and go pick it up, he's always in the square out there selling his work, but he just does incredible pieces, and they're very, very reasonably priced for art. I would say, depending on what you're wanting, it ranges anywhere from $70 on up. So go check out his artwork and get some on your wall because it rocks. And last but not least is Ancestry DNA. I will do a video on this some point. It is so awesome. And I'll talk about that in the video because the Ancestry DNA, so many people are told so many stories, so many of my family members and friends that have done this about their heritage, where they think they came from, where their ancestors came from, only to do this and find out everything they've been told is a big fat lie. Thanks a lot, Mom. But this is just an awesome thing to do. It's a lot of fun. It's $79 now. You can't really beat that. So this is the holiday gift guide for 2017 holiday season. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything, if you enjoyed the video, if there are some things that I have on here that maybe you don't agree with. Put it in the comments below so I can tell you how wrong you are. And until next time, I hope you get a fantastic, perfect, geeky gift this year. or give one to yourself. And no matter what, I really hope you fill your brains.